It all started in a place where Demet least expected anything serious to happen. She was sitting at a small outdoor cafe in Rome, trying to enjoy a quiet afternoon after a long week of work. The sun was warm, the city was buzzing, and for the first time in days, she didn't feel watched, judged, or pressured. She didn't expect anyone to find her there, especially not him. But then Can appeared. He didn't walk toward her casually. He didn't smile. He didn't act like someone who was simply passing by. No, he approached her with a purpose, with that familiar intensity in his eyes that always made her heart react before her mind could catch up. When she looked up and saw him, she froze for a second. Not because she was afraid, but because she knew, whenever Can showed up like this, something important was about to happen. He stopped in front of her, hands on his hips, chest rising with a breath he'd clearly been holding. "Demet," he said softly. "We need to talk." She sighed, leaning back in her chair, trying to keep her voice steady. "Can, what now? I thought we agreed to take some distance." "We did," he replied. "But something happened. And I can't keep quiet anymore." Demet looked at him, confused. "What happened?" He pulled out his phone, placed it on the table, and turned the screen toward her. Messages, screenshots, comments, all circulating online. Rumors, attacks, accusations. Most of them aimed directly at her. Some calling her manipulative. Some blaming her for a situation she didn't even create. Some even twisting private details from years ago. Her stomach tightened. She pushed the phone away gently. "I've seen it. It's just social media. I'm used to it." But Can shook his head. "No. You're not used to it. You've learned to endure it because you had to. And that's not okay." His voice softened, but there was a seriousness in it she rarely heard. "You shouldn't have to face this alone." Demet looked away, staring at the city lights. "It doesn't matter, Can. People will always talk. But I won't let them hurt you," he said firmly. She blinked, startled by the sudden fire in his voice. "You can't control everything." "No," he admitted. "But I can stand beside you. And I'm done pretending I don't care." Demet's breath caught. That sentence, that tone. She hadn't heard him speak like that since the days when everything between them felt simple, honest, natural. "Can," she whispered, unsure of how to respond. He leaned closer, lowering his voice. "Listen to me. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not trying to reopen old wounds. I just need you to understand one thing." He paused, a long, steady pause, before saying the words that would change everything between them. "I'll protect you, Demet. No matter what. No matter who. No matter how big the storm is." Demet swallowed hard, her chest tightening. It wasn't the words themselves, it was the way he said them. Slow. Sure. As if it wasn't a promise he was making, but a truth he had carried for a long time. For the first time in months, she didn't know whether to push him away or let those words comfort her. And Can could see it, the uncertainty, the fear, the hope. "Let me help you," he said gently. "You don't have to go through this alone." Demet finally looked into his eyes. Deeply. Searching for something. Maybe sincerity. Maybe regret. Maybe courage. But what she found was much stronger, a man who had already made up his mind. Demet didn't answer right away. She folded her arms, not in anger, but in self-defense, the kind of posture she used when she didn't trust herself to stay calm. Can stayed silent, giving her space, but not stepping away. He wasn't leaving. Not this time. Finally, Demet exhaled. "Can. You can't just show up every time something happens online. People talk. They always have. They always will." "I'm not here because of people," he replied firmly. "I'm here because of you." She looked down at her hands, fingers fidgeting with the edge of her sleeve. A nervous habit he remembered all too well. "That's exactly the problem," she said quietly. "Every time you show up like this, everything gets louder. The rumors, the pressure, everything." "Then let them get louder," Can said without hesitation. "I don't care." Demet finally met his gaze, a sharp, searching look. "But I do." Those 3 words hit him harder than any attack online ever could. She continued, voice steady but fragile. "I'm tired, Can. I'm tired of waking up to headlines about us. I'm tired of being blamed for things I never said. I'm tired of having to explain myself just because of a moment we shared years ago." Can's expression softened instantly. He leaned forward, elbows on the table, lowering his voice. "Demet, we both know this isn't about headlines." She froze. Because he was right. And she hated that he was right. He continued gently, "Every time something touches your name, something inside me reacts. I can't ignore it. I won't ignore it. Not anymore." Demet shook her head. "You make it sound simple." "It is simple," he said. "I care." That single sentence made her jaw tighten. She looked away, blinking quickly, trying to mask the sudden emotion tightening her throat. "Caring doesn't fix anything," she whispered. "No," he agreed. "But not caring nearly destroyed both of us once. I'm not repeating that mistake." Silence fell between them, not cold, not hostile, just heavy. Demet swallowed hard. "Can, what you're saying, people will twist it. They'll turn it into something else." "Let them," he said again. This time, she looked at him with disbelief. "You say that now. But you know exactly how fast things get out of control." "Then I'll handle it," he replied firmly. "I'll take the hits. I'll take the backlash. Say my name first, blame me first, I don't care." "Why?" she asked, voice cracking slightly. Ken leaned back, breathing out a long, shaky breath. "Because you don't deserve to fight alone. And because," he paused, choosing his words carefully, "I'm done standing on the sidelines while people drag you through hell." Demet stared at him, really stared. Searching for signs of exaggeration or impulse. But there were none. He wasn't acting. He wasn't performing. He believed every word he said. And that terrified her. "Can. I don't want you to get involved in this." "You don't have to want it," he said softly. "I'm already in." Her breath caught. He continued, "I'm not backing down. Not this time. If someone wants to come after you, they'll have to come through me first." Demet's heart hammered in her chest. She looked away quickly, afraid he would see how much those words affected her, how much they still meant after everything. "Can," she murmured, barely audible. "You're making this harder." He shook his head gently. "No. I'm finally doing what I should have done a long time ago." For a moment, neither of them spoke. Rome hummed around them, cars passing, people chatting, life moving on, but at that table, time had slowed to a fragile, dangerous stillness. Demet wasn't ready to admit it. But something deep inside her shifted. Demet pushed her chair back slowly, as if standing up would somehow give her strength. Ken straightened immediately, sensing she was about to distance herself, physically and emotionally. She grabbed her bag, but her fingers hesitated on the strap. Her whole body language said one thing: run before this gets deeper. Ken rose to his feet before she could step away. "Demet, wait." She shook her head. "Can, don't. Not here. Not now." But he stepped in front of her, not blocking her path, just gently grounding her. "If you walk away again, we'll go right back to pretending this doesn't matter." "What doesn't matter?" she whispered. He gave her a look, the kind that made her heart trip. "You know." Demet looked down, wishing she could deny it. But she couldn't. Not with the way her pulse reacted whenever he was near. Not with the way her voice softened around him without permission. Not with the way the past still hung between them like a half-finished sentence. Can, she began carefully, we promised not to complicate things. You think I'm complicating things? He asked softly. No, Demet. Things were already complicated. I'm just finally being honest about it. She clenched her jaw, fighting the emotion rising in her chest. Honesty doesn't make it easier. But lies made it worse, he replied without hesitation. That made her flinch. He continued, voice gentler, you think I don't remember the things we didn't say? You think I forgot how we used to talk without pretending? You think I don't see how much you hide now? Demet swallowed hard. You don't know what I feel. Ken took one step closer. Close enough that she could feel the warmth radiating from him. Then tell me, he said quietly. Tell me what you feel. She froze. Her lips parted slightly, but no words came out. Because the truth was dangerous. The truth was powerful. The truth could change everything, and she wasn't sure she was strong enough for the consequences. When she didn't answer, Ken exhaled slowly. See? You're scared to talk. And I get it. So I'll say it first. Her breath caught. But he didn't say the words she feared. Instead, he said the ones she needed to hear, I'm not here to reopen the past. I'm here because you're being attacked, and I won't stand aside and watch it happen. Demet's voice cracked. Why? Why put yourself in the middle? Because I owe you, he said. That surprised her. Owe me? For what? For every time you stood alone when you shouldn't have, he said, eyes softening. For every time you protected me when people came after us. For every moment you carried the blame so I wouldn't have to. Demet blinked rapidly, her eyes stinging. I didn't do it for you to repay me. I know, he replied. That's exactly why it matters. She pressed her lips together, fighting tears. He stepped closer, lowering his voice to something warm enough to melt the defenses she had built. Demet. I'm not asking you to forgive the past. I'm not asking you to trust me again. I'm not asking for anything. He paused. I'm just telling you that you're not alone. Not anymore. Those words hit her chest like a wave, painful, needed, impossible to ignore. Demet looked away, wiping the corner of her eye quickly before he could see. I hate that you say things like that, she whispered. Why? He asked, voice softer than ever. Because it makes me want to believe you. Can's breath caught. And for the first time since he arrived, he saw the crack in her armor. Demet turned her face away, but not fast enough. Can saw the tear she tried to hide, the one she brushed away with the back of her hand like it was nothing, but it wasn't nothing. Not for her. And definitely not for him. He took a careful step closer. Demet, look at me. She shook her head. No, why not? Because, she whispered, voice trembling, if I look at you right now, I'll fall apart. Those words didn't just bruise him, they shattered something inside him. He'd seen her strong, fiery, stubborn, playful. But this vulnerability? He hadn't seen it in years. And it was because of him. Because of everything they never resolved. Because of everything they pretended didn't exist. Demet, he said softly, you don't have to hide from me. She let out a shaky breath, crossing her arms tightly over her chest, hugging herself. You say that like you didn't spend years hiding from me. That hit him sharply, because she wasn't wrong. He swallowed hard. I know. And I'm sorry. Demet laughed softly, but it wasn't a happy laugh. It was tired. Hurt. Sorry doesn't fix anything. No, he agreed. But protecting you does. She pressed her lips together. You keep saying that like it changes what happened. It doesn't change the past, he said. But it changes what I'm willing to do now. Demet looked away again, but her voice slipped out before she could stop it. You're ruining everything. Can blinked. How? She closed her eyes, letting her shoulders slump for the first time. Because I finally learned to move on. To accept the distance. To live with the silence. And now you show up and say things that make every part of me remember what I tried to forget. Can didn't breathe for several seconds. Demet. I never wanted to be something you had to forget. She opened her eyes, and this time, she looked directly at him. You were never something, she said quietly. You were everything. That was the problem. The words hit him like a punch to the chest. For a moment, neither of them moved. Rome kept moving around them, scooters passing, people laughing, footsteps echoing, but at that table, everything stood still. Ken lowered his voice, almost afraid of breaking the moment. Demet. I wasn't trying to come back into your life like this. I wasn't trying to open old wounds. She stared at him, eyes shining. Then why came you? He took a step closer, close enough that she could feel his breath, close enough that if either of them moved an inch, the distance would disappear. Because you were hurting, he said simply. And I can't watch that happen. Not to you. Her lips parted. A tiny, trembling motion she tried to hide. He continued, voice deeper now, steadier. I don't care about the rumors. I don't care about the backlash. I don't care what people think they know. All I care about is making sure you're safe. Demet's eyes dropped to the ground. And what if I don't want your protection? Ken hesitated, but only for a second. Then I'll protect you from a distance, he said. But I'm not walking away again. Her breath caught, sharp and unsteady. He softened his tone. Tell me to leave, and I will. Right now. But if you don't, I'm staying. Demet swallowed hard, her voice barely audible. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything, he replied. Just don't walk away. She stood frozen, torn, overwhelmed, trembling. And for the first time, Ken saw it clearly, she didn't walk away because she didn't care. She walked away because she cared too much. Demet stood there, shoulders tense, eyes glistening under the soft evening lights of Rome. She didn't move. She didn't speak. It was as if her entire body was locked between running away and collapsing into him. Ken watched her closely, not pushing, not pressuring, just waiting. Like he finally understood that this moment wasn't about him. It was about her. About every wound she carried in silence. About every moment she had to be strong alone. After a long, fragile pause, Demet finally whispered, Can. I'm scared. He stepped closer immediately, slowly, but without hesitation. Of what? Of this, she said, her voice cracking. Of you. Of me. Of what happens when we stop pretending. Can's chest tightened. We can handle it. She shook her head. No. We never could. Every time things got real, everything fell apart. Because we didn't know how to talk back then, he said calmly. Now we do. She let out a trembling breath. And what if we hurt each other again? Ken reached out, not touching her, but offering his hand, palm open, patient. Then we figure it out. Together. Demet stared at his hand as if it were something dangerous. Something powerful. Something she wasn't sure she deserved anymore. You make it sound so easy, she whispered. It's not easy, he said softly. But it's honest. And I'm done living in a world where I can't even say I care about you. Her eyes closed slowly, as if those words were both painful and comforting. When she opened them again, she whispered, Why now, Can? Why after all this time? He took a deep breath, staring straight into her eyes. Because I saw how alone you've been fighting. And I realized that losing you once was the biggest mistake of my life. I'm not letting anything take you down again. Her lips parted, a faint gasp she tried to swallow. You can't promise that. Yes, he said, stepping closer, I can. She shook her head weakly. Life doesn't work like that. Then let it be my problem, he replied. Let me carry the parts that exhaust you. Demet blinked fast, tears gathering again. Can, he leaned slightly forward, lowering his voice to something impossibly steady. Demet, listen to me. I'll protect you. No matter what. No matter who's against you. No matter how loud people get. Even if you tell me to stay away. I'll still be watching out for you. I'm not letting you get hurt again. One tear escaped down her cheek. This time, she didn't hide it. Can gently lifted his hand, slow enough for her to pull away if she wanted. She didn't. His fingers brushed her cheek, wiping the tear with a tenderness that felt like a memory and a promise at the same time. I don't deserve this, she whispered. You deserve more than you'll ever admit, he replied. She lowered her gaze, breath trembling. What am I supposed to do now? Let me be here, Ken said. You don't have to choose anything else today. Just, let me stay by your side. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't loud. It wasn't a confession or a declaration. It was real. Demet inhaled shakily, looking back into his eyes, and in that moment, something inside her finally gave in. Not completely, not with certainty, but enough to let down the wall she'd been guarding for years. She whispered, don't make me regret this. He nodded once, firm, sure. I won't. For the first time that day, Demet didn't step back. She didn't run. She didn't hide her eyes. She stayed. And in the quiet Rome evening, under the dim streetlights and soft city noise, Ken understood something clearly. This wasn't a reunion. It wasn't a restart. It wasn't even forgiveness. It was a beginning, fragile, raw, unfinished. But real.